right, everybody, here we go with match number 3 in week 1, day number 1, and we are going to be heading over onto Terminus SE with the 2 players being WhiteRa and Fenix. Now, Fenix recently joined Team IM, and a huge congratulations to him. He's been playing fantastically. Of course, WhiteRa, I don't even need to introduce him, but for those nerds that don't know this guy, well, first off, welcome to the world. I'm glad you were born. But other than that, WhiteRa is an amazing player.
Absolutely amazing. He's had a phenomenal career in Brood War and StarCraft 2. And it's just, you know, like you hear WhiteRa and everybody knows who he is. Yep. He's been around. He has been around the tournament scene and competitive scene. He's been, you know, he's won so many tournaments. I'm sure like he can't even name them all himself.
He definitely can. And in terms of, you know, not only him being in the scene, but his age, he's like a dinosaur, man. That guy has not only been around the scene for all of StarCraft Brood War, all 12 years, but he's also, you know, quite an older guy. He's 31, and wow. Normally people that old don't play games still. I'm so glad that we have a great role model such as him leading the way in esports.
Absolutely. It's absolutely amazing to have him as a role model. Not only is he like one of the nicest guys, like I'm not even kidding, like he's just such an awesome guy to hang out with in person. Anyone who hasn't been to a LAN tournament to see him or meet him, you should definitely go.
Oh, definitely. He was at the most recent MLG, no, not the recent one, MLG Anaheim, where he's always such a pleasure to hang out with, and he had such a huge run there. It was so exhausting, I'm sure. He actually got a forfeit loss and then made it all the way up into the championship bracket. The guy is such, not only a sweetheart, but such a trooper.
He is.
Such a trooper.
He really shows his skill, too.
Yeah.
Like, in everything he does, he's just a smart player. He's also a mechanical player, and he's just an intelligent player altogether.
Yes, and I will love to see him going up against Fenix. Now, Fenix is definitely a player that loves his aggression, although just starting off with what looks like a 1-Rax expansion. We can see that no gases have been added right here. Looks like Command Center is about to be made. 400 minerals being saved up right here. And this first SCV, there it goes, plops down. This is a very fine build on a map like this. And WhiteRa not able to actually scout that out. That's kind of a big blow to him because he really wants to be putting down that Nexus ASAP.
Right. And you know, it's risky to versus a player like Fenix, who is labeled as like a hyper-aggressive Terran, to go for a 1 gateway expand without without a scout, without seeing what he's actually up to.
Yes, indeed. I mean, he's sort of typecasted almost, Fenix that is, and just the range of builds that you're used to seeing from Fenix is very huge. So to do something like that, again, is very risky. If you're playing someone, I don't know, like me, like someone a lot more conservative, you can just do that. Go ahead. It's fine because you're not going to be attacked in any way, shape, or form. You could probably go a Nexus and then another Nexus, and I still won't attack you.
I think Cruncher did that in a NASL Season 1 game.
Yes, he did. Show.
Yeah.
Very good memory, sir.
Thank you.
Very good memory. And
oh my gosh, the SCV does get in, and he sees that there is only 1 gas.
Yeah, that's the big part about it. Seeing just that 1 gas is very big. Oh my god, and it looks like WhiteRa is going to be able to get in here before that 1 bunker finishes, and he will see, okay, it's a fast expansion. Now, what does WhiteRa do from here? I mean, he's behind. He knows that for sure. The command center is already down. Does he go for the aggressive stance, which he is going for, or does he go to expand? I agree with WhiteRa right here. I think expanding here is bad, and the reason is because you're so far behind in the Nexus. You're complete, how many seconds is it? 100 seconds to get that 1 Nexus just to be in a comparable amount of SCV, or excuse me, comparable amount of income. By then, you know, your opponent is already taken off with a massive economic lead.
Right. I do like that he is getting that robo, though, to get that fast observer out there and make sure you can keep an eye on what his opponent is doing. So it's not a 3-gate like I think you thought.
Yeah, I thought it was 3-gate.
Yeah, it's actually a 2-gate robo, so he's playing it kind of safe. This style actually kind of reminds me of the way Noni likes to open. You know, he just opens really safe, but we see that this Stalker is being controlled really well. He's only lost the shields on the Stalker, and he is taking quite a few shots at these Marines, even taking down 1 and weakening quite a few.
Oh, he might get a second one.
No,
no, he won't. But for now, it looks like he's gearing up to do a double expansion. We do see him queuing up 500 minerals. There it goes. the Nexus. So he is doing a double expansion. This is, oh my god, this is like the most StarCraft 1-esque style I've ever seen before, if I've ever seen a style. I mean, this is exactly how it's played out in StarCraft 1, where it's like, oh, you took your command center already and it's already plopped. Well, I double expand and it's completely safe for both sides. Like, you can't really do much. Looks like Fenix does want to push out, but he has to be very careful because, again, the amount of styles WhiteRa can be doing is pretty extreme. This could be destroyed very, very easily.
Right. The only thing that would make this look more like a StarCraft 1 build is if carriers were also integrated. I don't think we're going to see that, but oh my gosh, look at these Stalkers picking up all these units. It looks like Fenix wasn't paying attention to the minimap at all, and this is going to cost him. Stalkers are so fast that they're going to chase down almost all these units.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he gets every single one of these units. The Marauder might be the only one left standing. Yes, it will be. Not able to catch up to there. But Fenix, kind of weird that he did something like that. I think that's so risky to do a build where, you know, you're basically forgoing all your units in that center just for a little bit of intelligence. Just does not make sense to me.
Yeah, it seems like it would be way smarter just to put one Marine there or one SCV there, you know, because they can't run away regardless from mass Stalkers. But we do see that he is going into that starport, switching with that factory that's building a reactor to get that reactor starport ASAP. He also has his engineering bay rolling up with some upgrades. +1's about 70% done-ish.
And one thing to note that is really, really big, first off, is going to be the timing of the third gas. That's going to affect his ability to really get all the upgrades he needs. We can see combat shields is not being upgraded, but he's not going to be able to make combat shields because he doesn't have that third gas as well. He needs to save all the gas for those 2 medevacs, so a little bit of a slip up. On top of that, he's also gone a 4 barracks opening. A lot of times we see 3 barracks opening. Now, what this means basically is that his third is going to be a little bit delayed. However, he will have a much larger army than normal. The extra Marine every 24 seconds helps out quite a bit. But is it going to be able to do anything? Is it going to be strong enough? That's going to be the big question.
Wow. We have a War Prism drop coming here. And actually, oh my gosh, the sickest force field ever to stop SCVs from running away. Don't even know what to say about that.
No way, WhiteRa. Oh my god, no way did he just pull off that special tactic. This guy is something amazing. When is the last time when is the first time you've ever seen anything like that?
I would say today.
Oh my gosh, WhiteRa pulling out the tricks for NASL Season 2. Really, really cool play of him. I can't wait to see that being used more often.
Yeah, that was pretty epic, I must say. He actually got a couple extra SCV kills because of that force field. Third command center just going down for Fenix, but you know, right now WhiteRa's already running 3 base this whole time.
Yeah.
You know, so can Fenix come back economically?
That's going to be the big question. Now that finally, oh no, the War Prism's going to die to just a couple of these Marines. Kind of unfortunate. Had a lot of units in there, so after all that aggression, he's going to lose quite a bit. Let's go ahead and look at the units lost. He lost probably half of the units lost just in that drop alone, losing, you know, somewhere around 500, probably 600 minerals. And maybe a little bit of gas. I think that 1 sentry's in there, so 300 or 100 gas, not 300. That would be terrible. For now, things are just going to kind of relax a little bit. We do see that Fenix has been getting a lot of production facilities. Still no combat shields. Do we see it anywhere in Q? No. So a little bit. Come on, Fenix. Get that combat shields.
Yeah, and with double reactor Draxes, oh, Colossus there taking a few shots, killing a couple Marines. But yeah, with so many Marine-based play, you know, 2 reactor Draxes, you need that combat shield.
Yeah.
I mean, that plays such a big part of Terran.
Looks like that 1 medevac's going to go down. Fenix just losing things over and over and over again. We do see a drop coming in the back. Huge warping coming in. The Photon Cannon was able to buy enough time. And looks like, oh my god, 9 hit points left on that 1 medevac. Ooh, dangerously close. Fenix almost lost that for basically zilch, just 150 minerals. Things, again, are just standardizing a little bit. We do see that Fenix is on single reactor starport, excuse me. So 3 total starports. It looks like another drop coming in here in the bottom. This 1 medevac is under a lot of fire. Is it going to go down again?
Wow.
7 hit points. Fenix is just a master keeping these medevacs alive. Very nice job.
He literally has a rabbit's foot in one hand and the mouse in the other, because both times his medevac got away with just like the skin of his teeth.
I know. Less than 10 hit points. We do see WhiteRa is pushing out now to get a 4th base. This might be a little bit premature. Actually, it is very premature. You can see there's a ton of perimeter to be defending. Does he have the means to defend all that position? I'm not sure completely. The one big thing he has to be careful of is letting himself be so open in this center ground. I mean, there's so much ability to flank, really get position on those Colossus, and make them deal a lot less damage than they should be dealing.
Yeah, I think Protoss might be overextending himself here.
Yeah.
I mean, he doesn't really need a 4th. 3-base Protoss versus 3-base Terran is pretty good for Protoss, in my opinion. I mean, 4th is just kind of being a little bit greedy. It feels like, oh, but these Marauders and Marines are just walking into Colossi, which is never a good thing. Oh, says it's a little lag. Wow. Doing some crazy micro here, picking off the Zealots. Yep, not so sure if Fenix is going to be able to hold this. That's a pretty scary army, but Vikings coming in, actually dealing a ton of damage, almost taking down 1 Colossus already.
Yep, this is a really, really bad position for Fenix. He's being pushed back all the way. Still no combat shields. When are you going to get those combat shields, Fenix? That could be a game-ending change that he does. He really, really needs to get that. You can see that 1 medevac with only 9 life over here going to be just milling around, just trying to do something right now. And there's that switch. He's over to the Archons, which are so powerful, forcing your opponent to say, hey, if you don't make ghosts, this is your punishment. This is your absolute punishment for not making ghosts. Look at this.
What in the world? I guess he thinks he's a Zerg. He's taking like the entire map versus Terran.
Apparently, man. And he's just massing up on all of his units for now. He's sitting at 1-1. His opponent over here, the Protoss player, is only sitting at 1-0. And it looks like WhiteRa wants to flex a little bit. I think he's going to be pushing in. And, well, he's very close to max. I don't see why he wouldn't push in.
Right. He doesn't have armor upgrades like most Protoss players nowadays have. He is only at 1 attack, and here he comes pushing in. Charge lots going out. Finally a stem from the Terran. Not really microing. I'm not so sure Terran's going to be able to hold this. This is a ton of Protoss units, and Fenix GG's.
And you know, WhiteRa, he did take the 4th. It was a little bit risky, but I guess he was so far ahead from all those little tiny advantages that he got throughout that game that it just didn't matter. He was just able, like, as I said, flex his muscles, lean on his opponent, and ultimately just devastate Fenix.
You know, I didn't get the memo that WhiteRa switched to Zerg. Because he was expanding like a Zerg player. It was
you are
crazy.
So clever.
I know. But he really played phenomenal.
Yes.
Like, perfectly solid. He defended every drop. He even got, you know, kind of a couple bad breaks with 2 drops actually slipping away by the skin of their teeth.
Yeah, it was, I mean, depending on who you're looking at.
Yeah.
But WhiteRa, it was unfortunate for him.
It was.
You know? It was very, very unfortunate. Still, he mitigated a lot of damage. It didn't do that much.
Right.
And he was able to just consistently take that economic advantage. Remember, he got the very fast 3rd because he double expanded. One thing to note that he had a lot more chrono boost than normal than we see in normal games with a regular expansion timings. And he really utilized that to his advantage.
Right. I think one of the things that hurt Fenix the most was the fact that he let his first army not paying attention to that mini-map. So after he lost that, WhiteRa knew that there was no way that he could put pressure on him to force him back, so he could take a free 3rd base.
Correct. You know what? A lot of people don't read into that much. They're like, oh yeah, he just lost 500 minerals worth of units. No, it's actually a lot of indirect damage, because now what do you have to do? You have to make an extra bunker. You have to make extra units that you don't normally have to make. He could have teched up to medevacs, let's say, a lot faster, maybe 30 seconds faster, and that represents a lot of potential drops, potential attacks.
It could be a game changer right there.
Exactly. Of course, combat shields not being up is a game changer.
Yeah, that never helps. That never helps.
But nevertheless, we're going to be going on to game number 2 between Fenix and WhiteRa. It's going to be going down on our Great All Map duel site. Everybody join us. We will be back with more action after this break.